Hello, everybody. It's Mystic, and welcome back to my library. So, I'm trying something new today. I thought it might be a fun idea to go through and rank all of the games that I played in April on one of those tier maker list type things. I've always wanted to do something like this. I love making lists, so I thought that this sounded really fun. And I actually played quite a few games this month, so I thought it would be really fun to just kind of go through them and let you all know just some brief thoughts. I did do a few of these as a full review. You can find those on my channel here. Some of them I didn't. Some of them I played offline just for myself for fun. But I do want to rank those as well. So let's get started on the list. I have 11 games to get through. Let's see how this goes. So I have my list here, and the way I am organizing this is actually pretty much exactly how I rank my games when I do my reviews. I have the highest tier being 5 books, which is going to be, the best game that I played this month. I think there might be at least one that's going to go on there. 4 books is, they were great. They were very good. I enjoyed my time with them, but there may have been a couple of little nitpicky things here and there that I had an issue with. 3 books is, it was just okay. It was fine. Nothing to write home about. It was just fine. 2 books was, not great. And then 1 book, I don't actually think any of these games qualify as 1 book, but it's here just in case. And it's basically if I played a game that I just really didn't enjoy. So that's how I rank all of this. If you watched any of my reviews, I usually give my games a book ranking depending on, instead of a star ranking, I do books, basically. So 5 books is the best, 1 book is the worst. We are going to just start from left to right. So I'm going to start with Botany Manor. I did review Botany Manor. I actually really liked it. However, I do think that the game was a little short. And for the money that was listed as the price, the retail price, I believe, was $24.99 US. I feel like the game should have been a little longer. I only took, I think, 3 hours to beat the game. And I feel like for $24.99, it's a pretty steep price for that. So that is probably the only reason it's going to go in 4 books instead of 5. I actually really did enjoy this game. I thought the story was absolutely fantastic. It was so good. I do recommend it just for the story. Definitely read and explore everything. Don't just pick up a book and put it back down. You got to actually read it to see what's going on. And I actually really did enjoy the story when I read everything. So that's why it's getting 4 books. Next up is Between Horizons. I actually did get this from Keymailer from the developers. So just FYI about that. And I did do a review on this one as well. This one was good, though I did find that I figured out the mystery before I could solve the puzzles, basically. I found I was getting stumped on the puzzles, and I wasn't able to complete everything without solving the puzzle first, even though I already knew who did it. It's a mystery game, and so the fact that I figured things out before I was able to complete the puzzles was just a little frustrating to me. The story was good. I did like the story a lot, but it was a little predictable, at least in my opinion. And there were just a couple of grammatical things that I had an issue with, but I think that was more of a me thing. That being said, I do think that this story and the mystery itself was good. The puzzles were fun, although I do think they were a little difficult. I think I rated this 3.5 out of 5 on my review. Now, since that's not an option here on the tier list, I don't think it should be on the same tier as Botany Manor, if I'm being honest, just because I did find the mystery itself, which is the whole point of this game being a mystery game. I found the mystery itself to be a little predictable. I already knew who had done everything, maybe before the last case even came about. And I was frustrated that I wasn't able to solve the puzzles in order to progress the game, and I had gotten something wrong, which if you get something wrong in this game, you can't go back and fix it. So that's fine. I think that I really liked that. It's just that it was kind of tough when I was stuck on a puzzle, even though I had already solved the mystery. So this one's going to get 3 books out of 5. Next up is Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions. Now, this one is not technically a game. It is a productivity app. However, you can buy it on Steam, and there's a bunch of different costumes that you can put your character in. You can collect little spirit pets, and the music is super chill. Everything is just very cozy and very chill. I have been getting so much more done in my day-to-day life ever since I started using this. Like I said, it's a productivity app. I kind of use it along with my planner. So like I write things down in my planner, and then whatever I have to do that day, I put it up on Spirit City and just have like a little checklist. And they have like checklists, they have timers, they have like journaling that you can do all inside the app. It is incredible. And yeah, it's not really a game, but I think it deserves a spot on here because I've been using it so much. And like I said, I've been getting so much more done because I have Spirit City. And so with that in mind, again, it's not a game, but I'm not going to fault it for that because I love it. And it's going to be getting 5 books out of 5. Don't come at me because it's not a game. I don't want to hear it. It's fantastic. If you need some sort of productivity app, I highly recommend this app. It's so good. And it works really well with any sort of planner that you already have. If you use digital planners, it should work really well with those too. I just love it so much. So it has to get 5 books out of 5 for me. Next up is Tell Me Your Story. And I got this one on the Nintendo Switch because I noticed that it was on sale for half off when it first came out. And I even had some points saved up on Nintendo, so I was able to get it for free. This wasn't sent to me. I just was able to work the sale and my saved up Nintendo points to be able to get this for free. And the reason I got it is because it reminded me, at least by description, a lot of Unpacking. And Unpacking is one of my all-time favorite games. I did really like this game. However, it did not function super well on the Switch. So the caveat here is if you are going to get this game, I recommend it for PC. I don't recommend it for the Switch. I had a lot of problems with having it on the Switch. The controls were a little bit clunky, and it also crashed twice on the Switch. I don't know if that's going to happen on Steam. I don't typically have games crashing on my Switch. I don't think that's happened in a really long time. And the fact that it happened twice with this game was kind of a problem because I had to go back and like redo things when that happened. That being said, I did really like the story. It's a lot like Unpacking in that there's no like dialogue, there's no written story. You're basically just, it's kind of like looking at a picture book almost. You're kind of you're playing as a young girl who's talking to her grandmother and looking through her grandmother's scrapbook and helping her put scrapbooks together. And she's telling you about her life. And it's all done like picture book style. There's no words or anything like that. You're solving puzzles to basically put the scrapbook together. Some of the puzzles I struggled with. I think that was more of a me problem. And I don't think that it was necessarily the game's fault. I was kind of like in the middle of a migraine that day. And I feel like I just wasn't processing everything properly. I'm not going to detract points from that because that was a problem with me. I will say though, that the fact that it didn't run well on the Switch is going to bring it down a little bit. I don't know how it plays on Steam. I just know I had a lot of problems with it on the Switch. So it might work better on Steam. You're probably going to have a lot easier time using your control scheme, whether you use mouse and keyboard or anything like that. I just didn't like using it on the Nintendo with the controller. I think it would be better with keyboard and mouse. So that was my big issue. I still think it was good. I really liked the story. The story actually did get very good. And again, it was all just like picture book style. Was it amazing? No, it was not as good as Unpacking. It wasn't like mind-blowing. And I was intending to do a review on this, but it was short. It was only an hour and a half long. And I was kind of frustrated with how it played on the Switch. So I just decided that this game, because of how short it was, didn't really need a full review. So that's why I'm just kind of talking about it here. I'm going to give it 3 books. I think it was okay enough for again, it ran poorly on the Switch. You know what? Unfortunately, I think I do have to give it 2 books. This is, again, because of how it played on the Switch. Not necessarily going to be a problem if you play it on the PC. I don't know for a fact. It just ran very poorly on the Switch. Like I said, my Switch crashed twice, and the control scheme was extremely clunky. So I think it does, unfortunately, have to go into 2 books just based on how it played on the Switch. I don't love that because, like I said, the story was good. I did struggle with some of the puzzles too. So yeah, I guess it probably does need to go there for me. I just feel bad. Next up is Coral Island. And oh my God, I love this game so much. I love Coral Island so much. I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but I actually just started Coral Island up this week because I was looking for a farming game that was a lot more inclusive than Stardew. Coral Island, if you're looking for a super inclusive, super cozy, super friendly, super amazing game that is continuing to be updated. They just had a huge update announced, and I'm super excited about that. I actually might make a video talking about that too, but there are some spoilers that I haven't gotten to yet, so maybe I won't. We'll see. Anyway, I absolutely love Coral Island. I literally have nothing bad to say about this game. It gives me huge bisexual panic. I love all of the characters. I want to date all of them. I won't, but I would like to. And I just really love this game a lot. So I'm going to be giving it 5 books out of 5. I can't recommend this game enough. It's so good, and I really love it. So definitely play it. It's amazing. Next up is My Time at Portia, and this is another like cozy crafting farming game. I also really like this one a lot too. I started this one up on stream as well. And I will say I like it because I didn't want to have too many farming games going at once. And Portia is not specifically a farming game. It is more of a crafting game. And it's also post-apocalyptic, which I think is very neat. I'm actually really intrigued by the story of it. I have not gotten super far in the game, so I don't know where it's going. But I do like that there's this whole story revolving around a post-apocalyptic setting, which I feel like you don't see a ton of in cozy games, and this is one of them. Do I think it's as good as Spirit City and Coral Island? No. However, I do really like it. I don't love the character models. I hear that they get better in Sandrock. So once Sandrock comes out, I think that that'll probably be less of an issue for me. There is a lot to this game. It is kind of complex. So if you're looking for something that is a little bit more chill, this might not be for you because you do have to remember like certain things that you need to build, and you might need to make some lists and stuff. I just think that the character models themselves are not my favorite. And for the story and for the game itself, it does not compare to Coral Island. It's still great. Don't get me wrong. I still love this game, but it's not quite 5 books. I will say that it's 4 books. And yeah, I really love this one. Next up is a game I don't talk about at all on my channel. I have been playing this offline. I actually played the first one offline as well. Didn't even discuss that one, but I love the Xenoblade Chronicles series. This has been my nighttime game to play on my Switch and just like be cozy under a blanket. And yeah, it's a JRPG. I wouldn't necessarily call it like cozy, but I do actually think it qualifies because the story is phenomenal. The story is so good, and I love all of the characters so much. This is absolutely a cozy game for me. It's just fantastic. I just can't say anything bad about it. The music is amazing. The characters are amazing. The story is so good. I'm probably almost halfway through, well, maybe not halfway, maybe a third of the way through Xenoblade 2 right now, and I'm just invested. I want to know more about what's going on. I absolutely love this game. My best friend Lori recommended it to me. She absolutely loves it as well. And I can't say enough good things about it. This is absolutely going to be another 5-star or 5 books for me. This game can do no wrong. Xenoblade can do no wrong. Okay. Next up is Stardew. And I need to get on my soapbox for a little bit here because I used to really like Stardew. And I feel very disappointed in the game and Concerned Ape right now for several reasons. The biggest one is the lack of inclusivity when it comes to non-binary and trans people. There has been a lot of talk where people in the LGBTQIA plus community have been trying to get Concerned Ape to add they, them pronouns to the game. This has been going on for a while. It's an effort that they would like to see. And I see no reason why this couldn't happen. It seems like Concerned Ape is ignoring everybody. That may not be the case. He may be working on it, but he also hasn't come out and said it, at least not as of recording this. It could change. The biggest issue I have is that there are people in the Stardew community that are coming out and basically just being a bunch of bigoted jerks to people for simply asking to have they, them pronouns in the game. We should be able to be inclusive with our cozy games. Cozy games are for everybody. We should be able to add they, them pronouns without this whole problem arising. They shouldn't have been ignored by ConcernedApe for as long as they have, and they shouldn't have been harassed like they were by the community. And then to not have any sort of response from ConcernedApe is concerning as well. I just feel like there are other farming games out there, like Coral Island and like Echoes of Plum Grove, like I'm about to talk about, that do a much better job of being inclusive, and I would just rather be playing them. So I don't quite know how I want to rate Stardew. From a technical standpoint, Stardew is still a good game. But that being said, until something gets done about everything that's happening, there's no reason why they, them pronouns cannot be added. Other games have done it, right? There's also the whole issue with Mr. Pedunkian, who is a developer who worked on Stardew, who was basically taken off of the credits for what sounds like a dispute. And that just didn't seem right as well. Again, I don't know the whole thing, but both of these coming out at the same time, I'm a little hesitant to continue with Stardew for the moment. So I'm not going to rate Stardew. Maybe that's a cop-out on my part. I don't think it deserves one book. I'm angry at what happens right now, but from a technical standpoint, the game is still very good. That being said, I don't think that in good faith I can put this on the list. I had to put it on here because I did play it for quite a bit in April, and I did also want to talk a little bit about this. But it's important. Cozy games should be for everybody. And being for everybody literally does not exclude anyone. Right now, Stardew Valley is excluding a whole already marginalized group of people, and that's not okay. Even if they, them pronouns are added, that's not going to exclude anyone from being able to play the game. I feel like they should be able to be represented. And it's very unfortunate that what happened this week is what happened. I'm just not going to rate it, and I'm going to be finishing talking about it now. Next up is Echoes of the Plum Grove. And this game just came out 2 days ago. So it literally came out on the tail end of April, but I am already obsessed. I love this game so much. It is like a hard mode version of a farming game. It's like if you take Crusader Kings, The Sims Legacy Challenge, Don't Starve, and Harvest Moon, and you mix them all up into a bowl. That's what Echoes of the Plum Grove is. This game is so good. It's hard. It does not hold your hand at all. And I think I was kind of looking for this with a farming game. I really like how difficult it is. And the great thing is, if you do find that it's too difficult, you can make it easier. There are ways that you can change the settings so that it can be a cozier game, but I personally was looking for something a little harder, and I really like it. Also, the other thing that is so cool about this game is that it will let you continue to play as the children of your starter character. So like if you've ever played the Legacy Challenge in The Sims, you have a founder, you play through in the same house until Generation 10. If you've ever played Crusader Kings, it works in the same way. You start off with like a king or a queen or a duke, and you carry on that family's legacy through, I think it's like 400 years or something. This is exactly what I have wanted in a farming game for a very long time. I have wanted something like this, where you start with one character and you can continue to play with the progeny of that character. And I just think that's so cool. And I'm so glad somebody finally did it. I think Kinseed does it too, but I haven't played Kinseed yet. It's on my list. I actually just bought it on the Steam Farming Fest because I have a problem and I needed to get it. This game it's just, I love everything about it. I have been playing it nonstop ever since I got it, and I don't think I'm going to be stopping anytime soon. I haven't played enough of it to give a ton of information. I'm actually working on like a getting started guide for it because I think that a lot of people are going to benefit from that. It's like I said, it's a very difficult game. It's also very inclusive. You can have she, her, he, him, and they, them pronouns. And yeah, I haven't played it for very long, but for the 7 hours that I have played it, I am obsessed and I cannot wait to play more of it. It is going to be getting 5 books. I know I've got a lot in 5 books. I played a lot of games I really liked this month. I'm not going to lie. Next up is Planet Zoo, and I've been playing this one on and off maybe a couple times this month. I haven't played it a ton. It was mostly on stream when I just kind of felt like building a zoo. I've been working on a franchise zoo, and I did just get the barnyard animal pack, but I'm not going to talk about that this month because it just came out and I only just finished playing it today, but it's already May. So that'll be in my May discussion. But Planet Zoo itself, it's good. I like it. I don't really have a lot of complaints. Sometimes things are a little buggy depending on how things are working with the guests. There's always some sort of like clog somewhere, and then you got to like pick all the guests up and move them around. But for the most part, the game runs really well. I wish I was a better builder because I'm not, and I typically have to just download stuff off the workshop in order to actually have a semi-decent looking zoo. But it is a fun game. I do wish that genetics were a little bit more fleshed out in this game because I do enjoy Let's Build a Zoo's genetics way more than I enjoy Planet Zoo's. I also I feel like gameplay wise, Let's Build a Zoo is just objectively better for me because I don't enjoy the building in Planet Zoo. But I do still love this game. It's one of my comfort games. I really do enjoy playing it. It was huge for me when we were in the middle of a big move last year because I played this all the time when I needed to de-stress. And for the most part, it worked really well for that. I think it's going to be getting 4 books because really good game. And just a few minor little like nitpicky things, but otherwise I really enjoyed it. And finally, the other game that I never talk about on my channel is Honkai Star Rail. And Honkai Star Rail is a gacha game by Hoyoverse. I actually just recently got into it again because my best friend Lori has been into it and I've been watching her play it on her streams, and it's a really good game. I'm glad I got into it. I played Genshin Impact for a little while. It's made by the same developers. I didn't love Genshin quite as much as I like Star Rail. I like the whole JRPG aspect of Honkai Star Rail better than the more like Breath of the Wild combat of Genshin Impact. I don't have a ton of complaints about this game. My only real complaint is the gacha system. I have incredibly horrible luck with this game when it comes to the gacha system. I always go to hard pity on every character I pull. And that can be a little bit disappointing. Not that I'm expecting to get all of the characters in like 5 pulls. I know that's not how it works, but I go to hard pity every single time. And, you know, I'm not going to keep putting money. I do buy some stuff in the game. I don't very often because of how bad my luck is. It's just not a game that I think I'm going to be putting much more money into because I find that my luck is so bad that it's not worth the money to spend on it. I'll use any of the free jade that I get when I play, but other than that, I'm not going to be trying to spend a lot to get any characters anymore because I just have terrible luck with it. The gacha system is really my only complaint, and I think it's not necessarily the gacha system that's a problem. I don't personally love gacha because it does require that you spend a lot of money. It is essentially like gambling. I do still love the story of this game. The story, the music, the characters, everything is phenomenal. However, the gacha system, because of my bad luck and because of the fact that gacha is not necessarily what I gravitate towards, just because I tend to be very frugal when it comes to my gaming, it has to probably go into 4 books for me. The reason it's not in 5 is because of the gacha system. And again, it's a gacha game. I knew going into it that it was going to have gacha, so there's nothing wrong with that. I just personally am not a huge gacha fan when it comes to my video games. I don't like having to spend a lot of money to get certain things. So yeah, that is everything. All of my tiers are done. As I said, I'm not ranking Stardew. I'm just going to leave that there because I did just want to talk about it real quick. So nothing was getting 1 star this month. We did have 1 2-star. Again, I really do think Tell Me Your Story would be better on Steam, but I didn't play it on Steam. Everything else, I think I have rated how I want it, and I'm going to end this video and go play more Echoes of the Plum Grove because I can't stop. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. You can also subscribe to my Let's Play channel, which I have linked down below as well. And you can follow me on Twitch. I do stream there 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And yeah, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye!